Hello again from my front porch. Obviously, I'm not on my front porch. I'm on my back porch, my back deck. I don't know. But it's Thanksgiving 2022 here in Iowa, and it's actually not a very bad day out here. You know, there's a little chill, a little crispness in the air, but that's okay because it's the time of year for that kind of thing to be happening. Overall, looks like it's going to be a nice day. I'm getting together with Lisa and her family here shortly for Thanksgiving festivities, and then I'll be together with my family on Saturday for our family festivities. 2 Thanksgivings that I get to celebrate this year, so that'll be a lot of fun. Now, this time of year is really good for us to pause and give thanks for what we have in our lives. But it's also a time of year where for some it is not as festive and as happy and as joyful as what, well, I just described for myself. The reality is there are a lot of people who this is a hard time of year for them because of the sense of loss. Perhaps they've had somebody in their family who has passed away, and maybe this is the first Thanksgiving family gathering time frame that individual will not be with the family, and that's difficult to process. The reminder of their absence is everywhere at this point in time. Maybe it's not even somebody who is deceased. Maybe it's just somebody who is absent from our lives for whatever reason. Someone off in military service, someone who has become estranged in a relationship, dating relationship, a friendship, where people that used to be really close, and then all of a sudden something has happened, that good or bad, but something has happened that has now made it impossible for them to be together this time, and maybe this is the first Thanksgiving season that has been the case, or at least the first in a long time. Whatever the situation may be, there are individuals who struggle with that sense of absence, that sense of loss during this period of time. And to an extent, I can understand. 32 years ago, I lost my daughter, Victoria, and even though that was 32 years ago, I still can vividly, with just a little bit of thinking about her, the emotions are all right there. She's, it's as if it just happened yesterday. So it's not like it's something that goes away. You just don't get over it. You just learn to live with it. You learn to have it as a constant companion. And in an odd sort of way, having that level of pain, that level of sadness whenever her memory comes up, I take as comforting. Because the fact that I feel so strongly, that my emotions react so strongly when I think of her, proves to me that she's still with me, that her memory remains alive, and I value that. If there would ever come a day where somebody would bring her up and it would not cause an emotional reaction in me, that I would not feel those feelings that I do at this point, then that would be a concern, because that would mean that I had forgotten her, and I never would want that to happen. And so for those of you who may watch this, who would say, well, I just don't really get into this season. I don't buy into all of the being thankful and all that, because I've got this hurt, this loss, this pain. I just want to give you a word of encouragement, that the fact that you feel that level of pain means that you have not let go. It means that you still hold tight. And certainly if it is somebody who has passed away, the fact that you feel that depth of loss validates just how strong your connection remains with them. And it means that you now hold in your hands their legacy. Your concern over the fact that they are not around is the validation that you are able to carry their legacy on, that you now fill the gap they have left. Now, I don't know about you, but that can be daunting for me to think about. Now, I'm fortunate so far that I have lost loved ones who are grandparent age, aunts and uncles. I am fortunate to still have both of my parents and all of my siblings. There are others who cannot say that, and I cannot imagine, I cannot fathom the depth of loss from if someone of that nature, or even a child, if I were to have lost, I lost my daughter Victoria. She was 4 days old, but now I have grown daughter and son, both in their 30s, and if something were to happen to them today, obviously there'd be a different dynamic of that sense of loss. So I don't mean to downplay it. I'm not trying to belittle it. I'm not trying to dismiss it. In fact, what I'm trying to say is grab a hold of it. Use that sense of loss as an encouragement for yourself. I know that sounds weird, but again, that sense of loss that you're feeling proves how much you still love and value that individual. No matter what the reason is they're not around you today, it still proves that you have a hold of them. Bring that into you, pull that into you, and let those memories just stay firmly rooted, and simply enjoy and bask in those memories. Now, there are other people who have difficulty at this time of year as well, because it's Thanksgiving. By definition, it's the day we give thanks. And there are people who say, I got nothing to be thankful for. Life is horrible. Life is bad. And I'm not going to say life is good. For some people, life really, really is bad. But a lot of times, the reason that we feel that way, that we feel like there is nothing to be thankful for, is because we've become so jaded. We've become so fixated on, here's all the bad stuff going on in my life. Here's all this turmoil. Here's all these problems. And again, there are legitimate problems. I have problems. You have problems. Everybody has problems of one kind or another. Doesn't make any one person's problem more or less than another, but to each individual, to myself, the problems I'm facing are the most important problems because I have to face them. Same thing for you, same thing for everybody else. And it is so easy for us to get so worked up about those things, to get so fixated on all of those problems and potential issues that we forget there is more to the world than just those things. Now, I don't believe you can just ignore stuff and it'll take care of itself, that it just goes away. I don't believe that's authentic or smart, frankly. But I do believe that today, Thanksgiving Day, at least for this one day, we can all intentionally choose to not dwell on the negatives. And that moment when you can force yourself to not dwell on the negatives, that's when you can actually start to identify the blessings around you, the thankfulness things around you, that you have much to be thankful for. Big things, little tiny things, personal things, shared things, happy things, serious things, all kinds of things, but things that you can be thankful for. You just got to stop fixating on the negative, at least for this one day. Whatever the problems are, they'll still be there tomorrow. You can let them go today. Today is a day to be thankful. And so, I challenge you, regardless of what the circumstance might be that would distract you or make you think otherwise, I challenge you today to pause and just see the thankful all around you. And with that, I will let you go, and I'll see you next time from my front porch.